Testing, testing. Hello, this is Liz, still technically reference librarian for the Derry Public Library and resident film expert. And also joining us today is little Hilo. I don't know if you can hear him purring, but he's sitting in with me. Wonder if we can make it for the rest of the week with my cats doing little cameos. So today we're going to have some more film recommendations, and today is going to be Amazon Prime Centers, as it is Wednesday. I feel like this helps people kind of keep which day of the week it is. So we're going to start with some classics. Amazon does have a good spate of classic films, older movies. The first I'm going to start with is if you are a mystery fan, specifically an Agatha Christie fan, the 1974 version of Murder on the Orient Express is available on Amazon Prime. This was remade recently by Kenneth Branagh, pretty decently, but I still think the 70s version is really good, and I'm not that much of a whodunit person. Personally, my favorite whodunit is the movie Murder by Death, which sadly is not on Prime, but the minute it's available... Oh, please get off the table. Tables are not for kitties. The moment it is available, I will let you know. Going on that with a little classic mystery is the great Stanley Donen film Charade, starring Audrey Hepburn, finding out the mystery around her deceased husband. This was also remade, I discussed it on Monday, in The Truth About Charlie, directed by Jonathan Demme, which I love Thandie Newton, but I love Jonathan Demme. Not a good movie, so this is one where I would definitely say stick to the original. Charade has just charm to spare. It's very stylishly directed. Stanley Donen overall was a great director. It's just his last couple movies were pretty terrible. This is a life lesson. Do not look up the movie Blame It on Rio. Just shaking my head on that. Up next, we're going to do a Hitchcock double feature, To Catch a Thief, probably one of the most famous collaborations, not only with Cary Grant and Alfred Hitchcock, but Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. Interesting, if you look at Grace Kelly's filmography, she actually didn't have a lot of films. She quit acting when she married and became a princess, but I think it speaks a lot to her presence and her star power that we remember her so much as an actress. And going a little bit earlier into Hitchcock is 1935 version of The 39 Steps. So if you not only want to get your classic fix, but get a mystery fix, these 4 films are for you. So we're actually going to go fast forward to the 80s to a newish classic, or one that I find pretty amiable, the Diane Keaton movie Baby Boom, which was written by Nancy Meyers. You probably know her from It's Complicated, Something's Gotta Give, What Women Want. Nancy Meyers, who, whenever she directs the movie, they always feature amazing homes and amazing kitchens. I know I always envy the kitchens. But I think it's a nice movie. It's about a woman, a high-powered executive, definitely an 80s lady, who gets a change of heart when a baby comes into her life. How, kind of interestingly enough, she quote-unquote inherits the baby. It's a cousin she hasn't seen for 30 years. I'm still a little iffy on that. I'm like, wouldn't it be just next of kin? Is she the next of kin? Either way, she has a baby now. And rather than completely going into my career isn't important, it's all about this child, she actually encounters a lot of sexism in her high-powered job and decides to leave said high-powered job and go into business for herself so she can balance her new life as a parent and keep her business end. So I actually like how it sort of subverts the expectations that she'll have of that film. And Diane Keaton is an incredibly gifted comedic actress, so you'll always laugh when you watch a movie with her. On to foreign films. One of them is Les Miserables, and no, this is not the Victor Hugo story, but it is inspired by Hugo's story and kind of trying to, within the spirit of Hugo's books, shed a light on marginalized people in society. So this is France's 2019 entry for Best Foreign Feature. It lost to Parasite. I mean, Parasite was a steamroller this year. Just no one's going to beat it. But it's a good movie. It takes place in Montfermeil, which is where part of Les Miserables takes place. It focuses on police violence and systemic violence against poorer members of the community and more marginalized. So while it is not directly based on the Les Miserables story, it is definitely, I would say, a spiritual companion to it. Definitely recommend watching that. The next is this film called The Third Murder. So, if you like mysteries, this is a legal thriller from Japan. It's directed by Hirokazu Koreeda. I've recommended him before, namely the film Shoplifters, which is a wonderful movie if you haven't seen it. So this is definitely, it still has the humanity that Shoplifters has, but it's almost like a more humanist version of a John Grisham novel. So yeah, if you want a kind of a legal thriller with a little more meat on its bones, The Third Murder would be for you. And the other movie I'm going to recommend is an absolute favorite of mine, The Handmaiden, directed by Chark Pan-wook. Uh, you've probably heard that name. If you've heard of the movie Old Boy, you know who Park Chan-wook is. So he directed this film in 2016. It is an erotic thriller. However, it is not sleazy in any way, shape, or form. You come to really care about the two characters at the center of this, and I love how it plays with you. It's essentially told from two different viewpoints, um, or the two couples' viewpoints, and I love the final act of this film. It has a really good way of fooling you as to where you think it's going. And I've said before when I've talked about Train to Busan and Bong Joon-ho and Parasite, South Korea is making some amazing films right now. So again, I would just say try to get over the little 1-inch subtitle and introduce yourself to some amazing, amazing movies. Um, so yeah, I feel like I say this a lot, but still, foreign films are great and they're wonderful and you should watch them. And by the way, I know we're not on Hulu Day, but if you have not watched Parasite yet, highly recommend. So the final thing I'm going to recommend is if you want a short binge-worthy show, it is a miniseries called Picnic at Hanging Rock. If you are familiar with this title, probably through the great Peter Weir film from the 1970s of the same name. It's basically a girls' school where they go for a picnic on Valentine's Day. Three girls and a student go walking up the rocks and they never come back. One is rediscovered, but what happened to the teacher and the two other girls is just a mystery. And this expands on the story a lot more. It tries to go a little bit more into what the novel went into, and it stars Natalie Dormer as the headmistress. You probably know her from The Borgias. She was on Game of Thrones. I think she's been in Penny Dreadful. I love her. I think she's a great actress. And I just love this story. So I loved seeing a new take on it. It's very stylish. It's very lush. The filming is great. You have a very beautiful scenery, a lot of nice, for me, I like nice colors when I look at costuming. So highly recommend that. Hopefully you'll watch one of these movies, and I will see you tomorrow for Hulu Day. Have a great day.